Welcome to our Spring Sports Awards night. Thank you all for being here. I know it's always a packed house, a little bit of a lengthy evening in the spring, so thank you very much for being here. Certainly appreciate it. We know these nights are a bit redundant, but certainly a great way to honor our student athletes for all that they accomplished this spring. Tonight is certainly celebratory, and our student athletes deserve it. So thank you all for your attendance. The achievements this spring, I'm not going to talk too long about our achievements this spring. I'm going to leave that to the coaches. Again, tonight can be a little lengthy, our spring program, so I'll be brief. Just a couple of quick highlights I wanted to touch upon. On the track, our girls going undefeated in the league and winning not only the regular season league title, but the league championship meet as well for the second straight year. Last year, we had our first ever participant in the All-State meet. This year, we had 4 participants in the All-State meet, so tremendous achievement for the girls. Jules Hogan went on to the All-New England meet. Jules will also be moving on to Nationals this weekend, and we have 2 other young ladies at Nationals right now, and Grace Bleakney and Rachel Bidney. Incredible season for our girls track team, our boys track program as well. I think Coach Vital will probably speak in detail about it, but the West Central Sectional Meet Memorial Day weekend was probably the best meet, boys and girls, in AMSA history. Just a ton of outstanding achievements. It was a pleasure to be there watching our track athletes. A great day, and I'm sure Coach Vital will get into that a little bit later. Lucy McCabe, you'll see Lucy here in a couple minutes, be honored as a girls lacrosse player, but she also represented AMSA in a few MIAA spring golf tournaments this spring. She finished 13th in the North Central West Sectional, shooting an 85 in pretty tough weather out in Greenfield, Mass. She moved on to the state championship, and she finished 35th out of 70 participants. So congratulations to Lucy. And I'm sure by now the news is circulated, but yesterday, for the first time in school history, an AMSA female team has won a sectional title. Our girls tennis team defeated Hopedale yesterday in the district final to earn the 3rd sectional title in school history, following our boys tennis team last year and the 2016 golf team. So our girls tennis team is moving on to the state semifinals Monday afternoon against Lee High School. Still time and date to be determined, but it is going to be Monday. So congratulations to the girls tennis team. So certainly a lot more highlights that the coaches will get into. Speaking of our coaches, I do want to thank all of our coaches. They are undoubtedly a selfless group who spend a lot of time away from their own family, friends, and loved ones to be with our kids and our program. So thanks to all the coaches for their sacrifice and commitment. Speaking of sacrifice and commitment, I want to thank all the parents. I know it's not easy to cart your kids all around Central Mass and to be the parent of an AMSA student athlete with really no facilities of our own. You guys are traveling all over the place to have your student athletes where they need to be. So thank you very much to all the parents. So student athletes, all in attendance, can you please rise and give your parents a standing ovation that they very much deserve? I do want to thank our student athletes for always being tremendous representatives of the AMSA school community. I know I say it every time we're here, but I'm not just blowing smoke. We are always complimented by other ADs, officials, principals. Our kids are tremendous representatives of our school community. So thank you to the student athletes for behaving and representing our school so well. I want to thank our administration, Dr. Lewis, Mrs. Lindsay, Mr. Naraki, and Mr. Amaral for all of their support. We appreciate their allowance of our athletic department to grow and continue to add sports and do what we need to do. So thank you to our admins for all that they do for our athletic program. I'm not going to be able to call up our first coach. We're going to do varsity softball first. Coach Bertano's in a wedding this weekend. She's the maid of honor in a wedding, and the rehearsal dinner is tonight. So Coach Pro is not able to be here tonight, but she didn't want to just do nothing, so she put together a little video. So we're going to play the video of Coach Pro talking about our girls softball team and the program.
Good evening. I'm really sorry I can't be here tonight. I wanted to make sure that I honored all all of my softball players for a successful season. I want to thank everyone for being here tonight. First and foremost, I'd like to thank my AD Pete Jones for all the hard work he puts in this season and all the programs and all the seasons into this year. I also want to thank my coaching staff, my father. It's an honor to have him by my side as a coach. He coached me when I was really little, so it's really fun, and every season is very memorable having him by my side. Also, I want to thank the JV coach, Larry Charletta. He really stepped up and did an incredible job with the JVs this year. We ended the season 10-8, allowing us to make the playoffs. We had a really young team this year, and I feel I forgot that at some aspects of the season because of how well we played. But we truly had mostly middle schoolers and underclassmen and only 4 upperclassmen. So we have a lot of growth, but I saw a lot of wonderful things from the girls this year. They worked really hard. You know, we ended up losing our first playoff game on Saturday. It was a tough loss, but you know, driving home and really reflecting about the game, I truly forget that this is such a young team. We have 4 upperclassmen, all the other players are underclassmen, and including some middle school players. So I feel like making the playoffs with such a tough schedule this year, I truly believe that we're going to be unstoppable going forward. So one game that I'd like to highlight from the season was the Douglas game. We won 4-1. During this game, I saw the team come together. This is one of the best games I've seen AMSA softball girls play ever in my 7 years of coaching. It was a clean defensive game with no errors. My senior Ella pitched incredible. She had 6 strikeouts and she only allowed 4 hits. They had 1 error. Douglas only had 1 error too, so they were unstoppable, but we got some really key hits. Ella Kinney got a triple to drive in 3 of the 4 runs, and same with her sister, Piper Kinney, got a triple as well. This allowed us to end the season with 10 wins and put us up against Monty Tech on Saturday, our first playoff game. I'm truly proud of all your hard work and commitment this season. So before we do the individual awards, I want to dedicate this season to my 2 seniors, Erin Dean and Ella Kinney. I coached them for the past 6 years, first on JV and then for their whole varsity experience. I watched them grow as softball players and as the wonderful women they are today. Each year I coach, it becomes more difficult to say goodbye to my seniors. Each one has a special place in my heart, and for each of them they help me grow as a coach. Erin will be attending Assumption College next year, and Ella Kinney will be attending Framingham State, where she will continue her softball career and play for them. Erin and Ella, remember, a lot of the lessons you learn through playing softball at AMSA relates to life itself. Never let the fear of striking out keep you from playing the game. My dad and I are going to miss you both a lot next year, but we expect nothing but greatness in the next chapter of your lives. Thank you for everything. So now I have the individual awards. The first one's most improved. This player is the true definition of motivation and determination. My father and I say she has 1 speed. She is so fast in all aspects in softball. Her reaction is impeccable at second base, and she is a speedster around the bases. McKenna got called up to varsity last year, and since then she worked really hard to get a spot in the lineup and in the field. Her batting average was .439 with the best on base percentage of .521. She had 15 runs scored. Out of 48 total chances, she had 0 errors at second base. I truly believe McKenna will be unstoppable in the years to come. Our most improved player goes to McKenna Olson. Now for Unsung Hero. This athlete is very versatile for our team. She is a human vacuum cleaner at shortstop, and she pitches incredible when we need her to. She is a huge asset to the team. Not to mention the whole season she played with a back injury and had to wear a back brace. This did not stop her from competing, and she didn't complain once about it. Piper's batting average was .420 with 15 RBIs. She had 55 total chances at shortstop, and she only had 1 error. Not to mention she pitched 4 games with an ERA of 3.5 with 36 strikeouts and only allowed 22 hits. We can't wait to see the success she will have as our lead pitcher on the mound next year. Our unsung hero is Piper Kinney. MVP of this season. My most valuable player, she eats, breathes, and sleeps the game of softball. Her practice and dedication over the past 4 years on varsity does not go unnoticed. Out of all the softball players I coached, I have to say Ella is the most committed. She never missed a game, she never missed a practice, and she sets a great example as a captain for the younger athletes. Ella was our catcher for the past 2 years. She truly was the quarterback of our team. She had 1 error the whole season. She caught 103 innings, having only 2 pass balls. That's incredible. She was our 4th hitter in the lineup with a batting average of .426 with 4 home runs, 29 RBIs. Last year it was in debate whether she loved her 21 pilots more than softball. And after this season, choosing our playoff game this Saturday over the concert in New Jersey concluded the result that she loves softball better. However, we got our game to be at 11 a.m., so I think she made the concert too. I can't wait to see your success as a player at Framingham State. You will be missed, Ella. Our MVP goes to Ella Kinney. I want to thank everyone for a wonderful season. It has been a pleasure and always so much fun. And thank you and have a good night.
All right, girls varsity softball, come on up. All right, so without further ado, let's meet our varsity softball team, starting with our senior captain, Erin Dean. Senior captain, Ella Kinney. Junior, Diana Babinski. Next up is junior, Sarah McNeil. Next up is Nina Gavin. Next up is Satara Hoke. Next is Sydney Johnston. Next up is Piper Kinney. Next up is McKenna Olson. Next up is Amelia Carvalho. Next up is Jessica Cash. Next up is Abby Asman. Next up is Isabella Rand. We also had 2 young ladies called up from the junior varsity. They had outstanding junior varsity seasons, Laurel Harras and Ashley Carell. The award winners, as Coach Pro announced, most improved goes to McKenna Olson. The unsung hero was Piper Kinney. And the MVP was Ella Kinney. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2019 varsity softball team. All right, next up, I'm going to call up to the stage our AMSA MHS boys varsity tennis team. Come on up. All right, guys, so up in front of you right now is our AMSA MHS boys tennis team. These are not all AMSA kids. Matt Lee's here. So as most of you know, we do co-op with Marlboro for our boys tennis team. They had an outstanding year this year. Their coach is Mr. Matt Sanko. Unfortunately, he had a death in his family, so he's traveling to New York for a funeral tonight. But the boys had a great season. It did probably pale a little bit compared to last year. As most of you know, they went to the Division I state final last year. So a tremendous program, a tremendous foundation that these boys have built going forward. I think it's safe to say that AMSA has a tremendous tennis community right now. So you guys are obviously a big part of that, and our girls playing Monday. But there's a lot of great tennis being played, and you gentlemen are certainly part of that. So I'm going to call you guys up, and then I'm going to let some of the older gentlemen who are leaving us probably say a few words. So one of the gentlemen that we have a certificate for, I don't believe he's here tonight, is Avi Shah. Next up is Aditi Akana. Next up is Zach Manzali. Next up is Alex Moran. He's not here tonight, but Rishi Baronia. Darren Haley. Melvin He. Vikram Kaushik. Arush Panala. And Mr. Matt Lee. I should also mention that in addition to the team tournaments that our tennis teams play, there are also individual tournaments. Kirsten Haley won the individual tournament last year. This year, Avi Shah and Rishi Baronia won the Central Mass District title in doubles. So congratulations to those guys. So I think at this point in time, I'll turn the mic over to Aditya.
Hi guys, just gonna keep it quick. I just wanted to say we had a really great season this year. Obviously, a lot of us were, a little disappointed after our quick end compared to last year. But I don't know if any of you guys watched the Bruins game last night. Big sad. I know. But you would have heard Brad Marchand say at the end, it hurts a lot because we're like a family. And I think I want to echo those sentiments. It hurts to leave because we've really built these last 4 years together. If you asked me freshman year if I would be okay with playing doubles with Zach Manzali, I would say no. If you ask me now, I would also say no. But we've really grown together as a team, and I think that we've put in a lot of work, and it really paid off last year. And unfortunately, we couldn't get it done this year, but the girls did. So check them out, watch them play. Good luck, guys, girls.
Here we go.
All right, next up, we'll welcome to the podium our girls varsity tennis coach, Mr. David Gordon.
I'll start by saying I am completely and profoundly unprepared to be talking right now. I was napping at 5:30 and I woke up like, whoa, gotta be here. So I'm gonna try and go through quick. I'm gonna try and make sense. I'll start by saying thank yous. I'll thank my wife, who's a single mother during the spring. When I'm not there, she won't hear this, but it was really helpful to have her supporting us. I like to thank the parents. You guys are the best parents, and you're cooperative and you're supportive, and you do so much for us, and so we couldn't do this without you. I'd like to thank Mr. Jones. When I think of Mr. Jones, I think chivalry is not dead. I think, yes, Pete. He's awesome. He made us a great schedule. We had a tough schedule that totally prepared us for the season, and anything we need, he gets for us. So, Pete, thank you. I'd like to thank Mr. Lane and Mr. Kessler. They made us really neat things to hold our scorecards in this year. It helped us start the season in style, and we looked very prepared and with it, because we weren't fumbling around these awkward scorecards. Speaking of being prepared, I really quick want to say thanks to the seniors on the team. That is Amy Rose, Amelia Fedakova, Maida Shaker, and Sarah Chenankara. You guys did a lot for the team this year. You took on all your senior responsibilities, and it was very appreciated. You helped us stay on track and set great examples for everybody. Sarah, you got the season started well before it even started by preparing everybody with workouts that you guys did on your own. So I want to say thank you for that. We had a successful season. Michael? We had a successful season. I saw this thing recently, and it was a picture of an iceberg. This is like cliche, right? It's a picture of an iceberg, and you only see what's on top, and there's this whole part underneath. So the idea of it was like success is what you see on top, right? But underneath the surface is all these other things that people don't see. So I want when people look at the team and look at like the success these ladies had, I don't want it to go unnoticed. All the setbacks and hard work that went to achieve that success. So, things that like are not seen, like this illusion of success, things they're not seeing, like the persistence that they showed. These guys encountered failure at times, they made sacrifices, they endured disappointments, they were dedicated, they worked hard, they were disciplined. Every one of you demonstrated all of those qualities. So I want to say thank you, and that is what really our success was built on. So I hope that doesn't go unnoticed. It was a successful season. We played Hopedale yesterday, and they just came through for us. I won't go into detail about the match. I want to move it along. We had a great season. We played tough teams early on. Pete, thanks for preparing the team with our tough schedule. And by the time it was all said and done, these players were ready. So I think I would just say thanks for everybody's support. We look forward to playing more on Monday, and I will give you guys certificates now. That's okay? Great. All right, first certificate we give out is for Sarah Chankara. Amelia Fadikova. Amy Rose. Maida Shaker. Elena Cardoso. Jyotisha Chilkuri. Zanara Dubash. Anvi Gampa. Kirsten Haley. Anna Grenken. Ilvika Kalat. Saruthi Karada. Shreya Vupala. Emily Lapointe. All right. I guess I'll move on to awards. First one is going to be for most improved. This one is completely unfair to me because so many of these players deserve this award. Practice ends and they're playing for a long time after, okay? They constantly work on their games. They're all very driven to improve, and they all have made my life really difficult. It's hard to even, pick 7 players to play because these guys all keep improving and are pushing each other to get better. I chose this individual because aside from knowing where she started, I know that sometimes improving comes with some ups and downs, and I imagine that this individual may have had some times where, along the way there was like some doubts and, am I gonna do this? And to not just improve, but to push through all of that, I think is something that I admire a lot. I hope this person continues to improve. And I'm very happy to give this award to Elena Cardoso. All right. This next award is for Unsung Hero. This individual has changed a lot in 2 years, has improved greatly. Has always been very pleasant. These are all very pleasant ladies. But I've noticed something that she gave our team this year that she kind of grew into was she gave the team a bit more of an edge. She gave the team some toughness. a kind of no excuses attitude. And it was from a surprising source. I just admire this person so much. So I'm happy to give the award to Avika Kalat. All right. This next person, I realized that 2 years ago I made a mistake. I likened myself to someone, and I had it wrong. I shouldn't have been likening myself. I should have been likening this person. Aditya, if your dad is in the house, he will know where I'm going with this. He may be the only one that gets this. This person could also be known as Baba Yaga. No? Yeah? Yeah. Okay. So, Baba Yaga, boogeyman? Not exactly the boogeyman. She is the person you send to kill the boogeyman. It's okay to say that. She is a lady of focus, commitment, and sheer will. Something that I hope we all know a little bit about. This person on, what was that, Monday? Wait, what did we play? Monday? Monday. That was when we played Monday? Yesterday. Oh, Thursday. Okay. Wednesday. On Wednesday, this person played. She played Amy Figgins, an excellent player, someone who has tested her over and over the years, and I think yesterday she became possessed. I was actually a little scared when I saw her afterwards. She played excellent. She gives our team such a boost. She is a captain this year as well with Sarah and Maida. Becoming a captain was seamless for this person. She is an excellent leader. I couldn't be luckier to have her as, as a player, as a leader on the team, and as someone that I get to see daily. So, our MVP is Kirsten Haley. I should also say Kirsten won the Central District last year and was a semifinalist last year in the duels. And this year, she was a finalist in the district. I know she'll do everything in her power to get back there again next year. So this team had a great season, is in the middle of a great season. And I just want to say thanks, everybody. Done. Thanks.
Up next is our boys varsity lacrosse team and head coach Frank Arena.
Hello, everybody. Frank Arena, the varsity lacrosse coach. So I just want to start off by some thank yous. First, I want to thank our athletic director, Pete Jones, and the AMSA administration for all their support and assistance throughout this season and all the seasons prior. A big thanks to my assistant coaches, Anthony Arena and Tom Hirsch, for all their time and dedication they put into this program on both the varsity and the JV level. Also, just having to put up with me on the sidelines is a big thing, so its players can tell you. I want to thank big thank you to all the parents for everything that they do for this program, all the support, driving out to away games and everywhere with our schedule, always showing support, people there, and then the outside things like the pasta parties. A lot of parents this year I saw bringing food to the games for guys after and everything. It's great. I know the players appreciate it, and we as coaches definitely appreciate it. And last but not least, I'm going to thank the players. all the hard work and the dedication that these guys in front of you show every day during the season and also out of the season is why this program has reached the heights that it has now. This year we went 11-7 was our final record. Second place in the Cal with a 6-2 record. Earned our second consecutive playoff berth as a 10 seed this year. In our 7 losses this season, 6 of those were by 2 goals or less. We were in every game we played, with the exception of Ashland, and and it really was a testament that at any time we really were there on the border from 11-7 to possibly even finish, going the regular season. We were 11-6. I mean, we had a chance to go 16-1 if we could have converted some of those. But I mean, it's always great to see your teams being competitive. We had 6 players this year on offense register 25 or more goals, which is the most we've ever had. And 4 of those 6 players also added 20 or more assists, which is a big thing for us. Last year it was big where we had 2 players go over 20 assists and a couple with near 10. But these guys this year were just able to really get into a groove and find each other. Defensively this season, we only allowed 10 or more goals in 6 games. And we were complimented a number of times by coaches after games, talking about our defense and talking about how unbelievably disciplined, aggressive, and overall great they were. Even our last regular season game, the Lunenburg coach told us that our defense was the best defense he saw all season. So for the parents and the players that have been here for a good portion of this program's history, you know how far that these guys have come. It goes back actually in February of 2016, coming off a 4-12 season. I received a call from a good friend of mine, Matt Knopfsinger, who's the head coach at Algonquin. He was calling to let me know that he accepted the job at Algonquin. And the next question was, what can I do to get you to leave AMSA and come to Algonquin with me? I told him that I appreciated the offer, but I really enjoyed where I was, and I had a great group of guys who were working real hard to try to bring this program to relevance, and that there was no way I could leave. He told me that was the answer he expected, but gave it a try anyways. Fast forward to today, we have a group that has qualified for 2 postseasons, won a Cal title, has had numerous Metro West, Telegram, and Cal All-Stars, and is still just as dedicated today in improving this as they were back then. Every year I get to be here and watch the growth. Makes me know I made the right decision back then. So I say again, thank you all to the players. All right, and we'll do the certificates and then we'll go to the awards. First one is not here, but one of our senior captains, Nathan Lee. Our other senior captain, Zach Pouliot. Paul Fillion. James Gassick. Bobby Hartman. George Kajerjan. Brendan Labar. Broderick Sarter. Shane Ferrante. Dylan Green. Real quickly about Dylan, first year player, first year goalie, and started on varsity from day 1. Manav Gupta. This next player, I have to announce this because I made a mistake and I texted him last night and I apologized for this. This next player, Evan Hardy, did eclipsed the 100 career goals in the playoff game against Valley Tech. He got his 100th and 101st, and I told him he was at 98, and that was my fault, so I wanted to get that done. So Brody Mativich. Andrew Duras. Johnny Fantasia. Andre Foster. Marco Grigorovich. Caden Grinnell. Thomas Hirsch. Will McCabe. Brendan Poirier. Nick Rochello. Jesse Mativich. Coach Arita is going to step up. He insisted on giving out this first award. So, yeah.
Hello, everybody. How we doing? All right. So the award that I'm going to be giving out is the Unsung Hero Award. So just want to start by saying this guy, he came in first day wearing khaki pants and a collared shirt to practice. Right away, we were a little skeptical, but no, he pushed it. Even in that, even wearing the khakis, ran hard. We do conditioning the first week, and you know, that was about all it was. But this is the kind of guy, he epitomizes a team player. You know, he's a close defenseman, didn't have a stat to his name this year, no assists, no goals, but he's always there. You know, he's always on time, very committed, always helping other players, helping the younger guys. And it's crazy to think that we've had him for 6 years. It's awful to say goodbye, but Pouliot, good job, man.
Our next award is Most Improved. This player was as close to a sure thing for this award as it comes. His work on the field was more than just the stats he puts up, but how his motor never stopped at any point during a game. You could be up by 10 or down by 10, and this guy was always playing at 100 miles per hour. He was truly a leader on the field with his play, but definitely a silent leader. I think in the 3 years I've had him on varsity, I think I've heard him say 6 words. He was not the player who was going to direct people, but he was definitely using his example of how to play. This season, last year he had 14 goals and 6 assists, and this year he finished with 28 goals and 20 assists. One night this year, after a tough loss we had, we were talking, and I told him how I appreciated how hard he worked throughout the game that day, even though he didn't do much on the stat sheet. His other contributions were just as valuable. And he responded with the best response I could have heard to it, which was, whatever I can do to help the team. Our most improved player this year goes to Broderick Cerner. We have another award that we as the coaches get together and get for a player, the Coaches Award. He's not here tonight, but it's going to Nate Lee. Just a couple of things about him. A senior captain this year, going to play at George Washington next year, which is MCLA Club Division I. He, at the Central Mass Coaches meeting last week, he was voted as the second one in our program's history as an academic All-American. It's a huge honor, and it's incredibly well deserved for him. He also eclipsed the 100 career goal mark this year and finished with 109, and finished with the most points in school history with 152. Unfortunately for him, that that record's going to last about 4 games next year already, I think, because you're right there. So, but I definitely wanted to give notice to him, even though he's not here, that Nate Lee is our recipient of the Coaches Award this year. All right, lastly is our MVP. This one was a real tough one to choose for us this year, and we couldn't make the final decision, so we went with 2. So we have MVPs this year. It was impossible between these 2 because of how much alike they are. These 2 guys were a staple of our defense this year. No matter how long we were stuck on the defensive end, even if they were only got off the field for 30 seconds, they were always ready to go back on the next time. Their roles are far from glamorous, and they don't show much on the stat sheet at all. But what they do is the reason why we have been so successful defensively last year and this year. They create offense with the aggressiveness of their defense, and after wins would have smiles on their faces that would make you think they scored the game-winning goal. And after losses, they'd be the first 2 talking to the coaches and find out what we can do to fix the problems. Both these guys incredibly deserving of this award, and I'm also very excited the fact that they're only juniors and we get them back next year. The MVPs for this year are Paul Fillion and Bobby Hartman. That's it. Thank you very much. At this time, let's welcome the girls varsity lacrosse team and head coach Rich Foley.
I trust everybody's doing well tonight. First things first, thank yous. He's hiding behind me, but step forward, please. See, I owe him this for volunteering me to play goal for the kids on the last day. So he can stand up front and center and be uncomfortable for a minute. I have zero problem with that whatsoever. I cannot coach with a lot of people. And he saw immediately, he and his wife are active parents in a very good way. He saw a need, he filled that need, and did a brilliant job. Not only with the lacrosse, but putting up with me. I am not easy. Not easy to coach with, not easy to play for. But that's why I like it here so much. I think you can step back now. Coach Andy Craig, thank you, sir. I thank our athletic director, Peter Jones, for everything that he does on a daily basis. Cannot be understated. Much appreciated. Parents as well, thank you for being active, Booster Club, all of that. Year 2, not quite year 1. Year 1, I built a lot of programs. Year 1 was an anomaly. You do not get to waltz into lacrosse and win the very first year with brand new student athletes and some that have played mixed in here and there. We did because we had a fairly special group. That season was incredible. It was amazing, but so was this one. And this one was for different reasons. We had 4 wins. Might think on paper, terrible. No, not for a beginning program, not for a program that started a headstrong 7th grader on defense, and pretty much freshmen, brand new across the board, offense, and middies. Our seniors did a tremendous job this year. We had one on midfield, one of the hardest chargers I've ever coached, Ava Knopf. And the rest played very, very stout defense for us, and I'm proud of all of them. And I wish our seniors the very, very best moving forward. Improvement is the most important thing for me as a coach of 27 years. And those 4 wins mean nothing because I watched a team of amazing kids come together and keep improving and keep improving and keep improving. So for that, I am incredibly proud. And this was a very rewarding season as well. And hopefully next year or the year after, we're stumbling in late because we made it 2 or 3 deep into the playoffs. That's what I can see for this future. The future looks very, very bright. Now on to the awards. Girls Lacrosse Most Improved Player. This one goes to a kid who is one of my hardest chargers. Youngster. I didn't just watch her exit her shell towards the end of the season. I watched her explode through it and out of it. Alyssa Craig. Unsung hero. This is one that doesn't get on the stat sheet. This is one I would be remiss if I did not give this to this particular individual. I have coached for a long time, boys and girls. This kid has a motor that does not quit. Just basically a perfect student athlete. Our unsung hero is Ava Knopf. The most valuable player is a player by definition that you cannot do without, period. And we found that out the hard way several games this season due to the various injuries. This kid deserves it tenfold. Amazing student athlete, Leah Ugovich. Now for certificates. Emma Donahue. Krista Fillion. Reese Grinnell. Ava Knopf. Alyssa Nolan. Sahana Saleh. Senna Alex. Great, Sadia Sangapa. Lucy McCabe. Miriam Alex. Melissa Babinski. Sarah Clements. Alyssa Craig. Tessa Donahue. Kim Sue Gupnik. Sandra McCabe. Avery Preskin. Catherine Scott. Ruby Todd. Leah Ugovich. Devin Gawaski. Jill Gawaski. In closing, I'm going to announce the captains for next year. Lucy McCabe, Alyssa Craig, and Leah Ugovich. There will be a fourth. That one's to be determined. Thank you, guys.
Coach, can I have one coach on that? Right off the corner. And don't move it after I finish. All right, ladies, here we go. Smiles.
At this point in time, I'd like to welcome for a brief presentation the football coach from Maynard High School. He's going to be presenting a scholarship to one of our student athletes. As most of you probably are aware, we have a cooperative football program between AMSA and Maynard. So welcoming to the podium now is head football coach at Maynard High School, Nick Palicki.
Good evening. My name is Nick Palicki. I'm the head football coach of the Maynard AMSA football team. I'd like to first begin by congratulating all of the spring sports teams on their successful seasons. Before coming tonight, I did a little research and determined that collectively, AMSA varsity athletics had an overall record of 77-42 this season, meaning the student athletes in this room were victorious in almost 70% of their games, matches, and meets. So, I am here on behalf of the Friends of Tiger Football. Friends of Tiger Football is a parent-led fundraising organization that provides the football program with new equipment, spirit packs, team meals, and scholarships. This year, 3 scholarships in the amount of $500 were awarded to deserving seniors. Would Kevin McCauley join me up front, please? Kevin joined the program in the first year of the co-op, 2 years ago. He was able to quickly develop relationships with Maynard players and become a leader for the team. Kevin's positive attitude, hard work, and commitment were all qualities that went a long way in establishing the culture of a new program. In Kevin's senior year, he played an integral part in leading the team to an 8-0 record and league championship. Kevin, your Tiger football family would like to present you with a scholarship. We wish you nothing but the best as you head off to the University of Wisconsin, where you'll study mechanical engineering.
I'll now call to the podium our varsity baseball coach, Mr. John Gendron.
Good evening, and thanks for joining us.
I'm John Gendron, the head coach of the varsity baseball team. It's all good. I just wanted to start out and thanking Pete Jones for helping me out throughout the year and communicating as well as you do, and it really helps me out a lot, and I appreciate everything you do. Also want to thank the parents for coming out and supporting us. We have the same, I feel like I know the parents pretty well at this point. Everybody comes out and supports us, and baseball isn't the fastest paced game, and it can get a little bit old, and so it's appreciated when you come out. And those of you that haven't seen these guys play, I would encourage you to come out next year. these guys can play some ball, and they plan on doing some big things next year. But it's not. I wouldn't say it's a typical high school baseball team. It's a pretty clean game. So if you get the chance to come out next year, I'd come out. This year was a really great season. It didn't end the way we wanted it to. We got bounced in the first round, but we had an overall record of 16-4, and I felt like the team grew throughout the year. Each and every one of them came to practice every day, worked their butts off, and you could really see the improvement throughout, and just shows the dedication and the commitment. So I appreciate it, guys. So I'm gonna just actually just one quick story. So these guys are quite the group. They're really believe that they like each other, and I if you know me as a coach, very positive, try to be encouraging, all about like team stuff. As a player, I never liked my entire team. That's just being honest. I never really enjoyed all of my teammates. There was always a couple of them that it's just the way it is. I truly believe this team was a special squad. They might not have brought home any hardware, but this team, I think, cares about each other in a different way. So I appreciate how you guys carried yourself and how you guys bring everybody together. And they play basketball a lot on the side, and we got to cut that out during the season. But it's just that type of bonding is what makes these guys great. And you really can't tell that Kevin and Garrett are the two seniors, and we got a bunch of sophomores, and they're all just right here. And that type of stuff is what makes me keep coming out and really enjoying being around these guys. One story that I'm being real goofy and just having a lot of fun out there was we were out at, I think it was Keefe Tech, and I'm coaching third base, and I look over and I see a group, I don't know, 2 or 3 guys. I know one of them was Cash. And they look like a couple of, I don't know, Panthers or something. They're creeping over. They're going to go hunt down a beaver. During the game. During the game, they're going to chase down a beaver that's over in the field. And of course, I'm over here at third base watching them, knowing that they might go chase down that beaver. So, anyways, maybe you got to stay a little more focused than that. But we were up a few runs in that one. But it just shows these guys have a great time and they know how to have fun, and at the same time, obviously put in the work to put in a good season like that at 16-4. So, anyways, I'm gonna give out the I don't know what these are called. Certificates of participation. First one. Garrett Prescott. Nick Battaglino. Colin Craig. Nishant's not here today, but Nishant Jam. Owen Nicholas. Tim Wang. Owen Wise. Andrew Cash. Will Forte. Trey Fucillo. Cam Hunt. Ayush Singh. Also, I wanted to mention a few call-ups from JV. Braden Deckers. Evan Scully. And Calvin Thompson. All right. Now for some awards. So, we get 3 awards to give out. I kind of take it upon myself, without talking to Pete, and I kind of just take who I think had the best years out of the 3 best players, who had the best years. I could find the most improved player who might be a bench guy, and not that they're not deserving, that's just kind of the way I'm doing it, just so you guys know where I'm getting these awards. I'm going to be repeating some of what some of these other guys said, but everybody on this team could be the most improved player. Top to bottom, I really saw everybody improve. The award this year is going to go to a player who could have been one of our top pitchers last year but had some arm issues. And this year he really stepped up for us. Every time we were in a situation where it was tight, late game, I mean, I'm shaking. I'm over on the sideline, I'm nervous as can be. And he's up there, he doesn't even know what the situation is, or if he does, he doesn't show it. And he never gets rattled, he always steps up. I trust in him as much as I trust in myself. Andrew Cash, most improved player. So the second award, Unsung Hero Award. So going into this year, we had a really nice core coming back, and one of the players that was on JV last year that got the call up really stood out and played above and beyond. And this kid carries himself in a different way. He really has a special demeanor to him. He has a baseball mind. He leads by the way he steps on the field, the way he plays. Cam Hunt, unsung hero. All right, most valuable player. So, this guy, he practices like a champion, like a professional. I've been around some professionals. This kid practices as good as anybody. I don't have to be working with him. He can be working with just another player, no coaches around. It doesn't matter. He practices the right way. He practices hard in practice as he does in games. He lays out time and time again, even when his shoulder's hurt, during practice, when I'm telling him not to. Because he has one speed. And it's truly the way that everybody should play. And a lot of us play hard, but he really stands out. And to be getting the most valuable player and not be a pitcher at the high school level is pretty special. Colin Craig, most valuable player. Yeah, he hit a measly 5'10" this year. I should have mentioned that. Yeah, and 4 home runs, and the stat guy had it at 3, so Anyways, thanks again, and have a good night.
Here we go, guys. Nice smiles. One more.
Good evening, everybody. I know a couple of us wanted to say a couple things just on behalf of the team. My name's Joe Ficillo, and I'll be speaking on behalf of the team right here. I promise to make this really short. We had a historic season this year, and to highlight some of the things which Coach probably already addressed, we set the school record for wins with 16, which I think is an incredible feat. And I'm also pretty sure that we had the most home wins this season. Never this year did we go onto the field thinking we weren't the better team. The amount of heart and grit that this AMSA team represented really made the sum greater than the parts. And you know, we were a team with one objective all year, and that objective being to win. Our seniors, Kevin and Garrett, they set the tone by treating everyone as equals right from the start, and you both will be missed tremendously next year. As all AMSA student athletes know, it takes a lot of commitment, dedication, and sometimes many sacrifices to play sport here at AMSA. And so at this time, we would like to appreciate our athletic director, Mr. Jones, and our parents, grandparents, fans, coaches, and just for your commitment, dedication, and all of your sacrifices that you make that allow us the privilege to pursue our sports. We all thank you from the bottom of our hearts. A very, very special thank you to Coach Gendron, Coach McDonough, who can't be here sadly, our assistant coach.
Yeah, thanks, Coach McDonough.
and Coach Moore. They assisted us, they challenged us, encouraged us, believed in us, and respected us all year long, on and off the field. And their combined experience playing at the collegiate level really helped propel us to our 16-4 record this year. I'll wrap this up. We really got to see the future of AMSA baseball this year. You know, just to think about this, we swept Bay Path this year. We beat them in both games that we played, and they're going to be playing for the district championship title this Saturday against Hudson. And I feel confident that this team can bring home some hardware in the future. And just thank you guys for coming out. Really appreciate it. I think Kevin's going to say a few words too, but really appreciate it.
So I was late because I had an internship in Boston, so if anyone's gonna blame me, it was Boston traffic. I'm sure most of you have experienced it at one time or another. But I'd just like to start off by saying thank you to our administration. They really have figured it out lately and got everything going in the right direction. A huge thanks to Mr. Jones. He had to put up with me for 3 seasons this year. Football, basketball, baseball. I was in his office almost every day. So he's either sick of me or he's gonna miss me. I hope it's the latter, but I guess we'll find out next year. Thanks, Mr. Jones. I'd like to say thank you to my teammates and coaches. They've been through everything with me. They've seen me get shelled by teams, and they've seen me throw the lights out. So thank you to you guys for that. A huge thank you to my dad. He introduced me to this sport, and it's my favorite sport. He actually he was a part of the program up until recently. He introduced me to the program. What a lot of people don't know is I've been around since 4th grade, so before any of these kids, anyone really in this room, because he was the coach and I got to look up to the leaders on the team, many of which are now starting their lives. Some are at prestigious universities like West Point, so I had the opportunity to learn from some of the most intelligent, great leaders, and I tried to do that this year by leading by example. and I just wanted to install the values that I learned from them in the future. So, some stats, because baseball, we all love stats, right guys? So I've played in over 100 games. I've pitched in over 20. I was a member of the varsity team for 5 out of my 6 years. I've had 8 coaches. Some left, not by choice. I've had 2 athletic directors and God knows how many administration changes in my time here at AMSA. But I'm gonna really miss playing on that cobblestone they call a field, Stevens Park. And I'm really gonna miss this team and everyone else. So thank you for the memories and thank you for everything.
Next up to the podium is our head track coach, Mr. Mark Vital. He's joined by assistant coach Owen McQuaid, and I believe he's going to call up the boys team first. Oh, and assistant coach Miss Sarah Sweeney's on her way up as well.
Good evening, everybody. Like all coaches, I want to thank our great administration here. I also want to thank the collective group of parents who are second to none here at AMSA. You know, some of the coaches complained about having to travel a little ways and have a game and be gone for 4 hours. Well, our parents have to put up with us on Saturday meets for 10, 12, 14 hours. So thank you to all the parents for putting up with the crazy schedules of track and field. I also I'm blessed to say that I have a great coaching staff behind me. Miss Sarah Sweeney, who's been with the program as long as I have been, with 8 years now. Owen McQuaid, who was actually the first captain of the track and field team in the Alpha class of AMSA many, many years ago. He's now helps out with the distance crew. And then helping us, a clear example of the dedication of our coaching staff is we have a throwing coach, Coach Sampson, who right now there are Grace Blakeney and Rachel Bibiu are competing at nationals down in North Carolina, Greensboro, North Carolina. And Coach Sampson just said, I'm going. And she just did a road trip down to North Carolina to support her shot putter. And also with Rachel on the triple jump. So I'm blessed to have some great coaching staff around me as well. Before I call up the guys, I'd like to call up all this. We've already had a very successful, fun track banquet, so I'm not going to bore everyone with a bunch of statistics. But could I have all the seniors from both the boys and girls teams come up here? They were not part of our banquet, so I'd like to recognize them now if they're here. I heard someone, Mr. Craig batted .510, and I heard about guys scoring 100 goals. And we have some pretty amazing statistics on the track and field team. But truly, the most important statistic is, are they happy? And are they going to have a good life? Did we prepare them well as coaches, as teachers, as administrators, as parents? And if you look at these fine young men and women, and this is just, I'm missing a few of them, but I just want them to share with you where they're going to college. Some of them will start in September. Some of them will be starting next week.
Yeah, I'm going to the United States Coast Guard Academy. I'm doing government with a concentration in national security.
Going to Parsons School of Design in New York City.
I'm going to Vanderbilt University pursuing a double major in mathematics and economics with a minor in African American and diaspora studies.
I'm going to UMass Amherst and I'll be studying engineering. I'm going to the Air Force Academy and I don't know what I'm studying.
Thank you, guys. This is an indication of how well we did in track and field. So thank you, seniors. Some of these guys have been, and ladies, have been with me since they were in 6th grade. So I like to think that a slice of their success is attributed to our track and field program. So thank you, ladies. You can have a seat. Guys can stay here. Other gentlemen, come on up. Again, I'm not going to, as they're walking up here, I'm just going to talk about some of the successes of the team, not to hold you up too long here. As you can see, we had on the track and field program, we have about 140, a little over 140 athletes, student athletes who are either at the middle school or the varsity level. You get a varsity letter, not just because you're on the varsity team, but rather you have to be able to score in 3 different events. You as an individual must score, and every one of these gentlemen up here, which I hope, I'm pretty sure, every one of these gentlemen scored at least 3 different meets, and many of them scored in many, many, many other meets. So they all contributed to our success. What was our success? Well, we were 3rd in the Colonial League. We were 9-4 overall. We had school records in the 110-meter hurdles, in the 400-meter hurdles, and the let me go down who did them. Axel Estavillo, 110-meter hurdles. John Williams in the 400-meter hurdles. Zach Macias in the 400-meter dash. And Aiden Reinhold in the javelin. Two of those records would be school records at Marlboro High. And Marlboro High started their program back in the 1940s. So two of our records are better than those that have been now going on, 80 years or so, plus or minus. So some great accomplishments. Yeah, that's enough of that. Oh, I'm sorry. And Ben Williams in the mile, thank you. Sorry, Ben. So varsity awards. John Williams. Zach Macias. Aiden Reinhold. Aiden Marceau. Axel Estavillo. Liam's not here, right? Nope. Ben Williams. Abajay Shukla. Matthew Hall. Sorry. Connor Lepre. Matthew Young. Alonzo Moreno. Greg Malone. Josh Chase. Kazuya Erdos. Kyla Puchaloo. Max, I Miss Thea?
Yeah.
Max, you here? Coda Erdos. That's inside here. Jacob Malone. Matt McCares. Jesse Hogan. Connor Woodsmall. Lucas Nolan. You tell your mother just to quiet down back there. And East Patty. Daniel Franca. Luke Newhauser. Seamus Noonan. Now I have to, a little stats. The wonderful thing about track is that it's incredibly measurable. And this individual who ran with us 2 years ago, took a year off and then came back, and he actually beat a top runner from Parker who was a state champion in cross country, where he set our school record. The most improved player this year is Ben Williams. For years, I always did unsung hero by ripping up little pieces of paper and passing them out to the team and telling them to write, because I said an unsung hero should be determined by the team since they're unsung and I may not be aware of their attributes to the team. So a couple years ago I started, or a couple seasons ago, I put it on Google Classroom and everyone voted. I thought it was the greatest idea, and then this year, finally, after a number of seasons, the captain said, "Coach, you know the captains can see the names, right?" No, I didn't. Anyway, the unsung hero this year and phenomenal athlete is Axel Estavillo. Does anyone here know well, I think everybody already knows who the MVP is. Does anyone here know what the nickname is of a student that goes to the Air Force Academy? Anyone, raise your hands. Yes.
Only first year for swabs, yeah. Or chair force. It's the chair force.
Nope, good guess. Anyone else? It's actually a beast. It's an acronym for something, but it's a beast. And I think that's a perfect description of the athlete that I'm about to identify now, and not because he's far from it when you talk about him as a gentleman, because you will not find a greater gentleman in this room than our MVP. But when he laces up his shoes and steps on the track, make no mistake about it, he is a beast. He broke one. Now any one of us would be happy to run a 400 meters in under a minute. Well, this guy did it. He actually broke a minute in the 400 meters. Now throw 8 hurdles in the way, and he still broke a minute. He's just an incredible person, an incredible gentleman, and he is our MVP, John Williams.
Over here, and take this whole front row, take over, guys. Turn your right shoulder towards me. Turn your right shoulder, guys. I'm not going to see you. Come right to the middle. Right to the middle. All right.
Please have the varsity girls please come forward. Our girls team went undefeated this year, second year in a row. The Colonial League champions, and at the state meet in out at Westfield University, our girls was the top team from Central Massachusetts. So please put your hands together for these fine young ladies. The first varsity recipient is not here right now. She's down in Greensboro, North Carolina, competing in the national meet. She's a freshman competing against 38 of the other top freshman triple jumpers in the country. And she ended up, at about 4 o'clock this afternoon, she ended up getting 19th place in the country in the freshman triple jump. And that is Rachel Beatty. Just some other, Rachel set as a freshman, set a school record in both the 100-meter dash and the triple jump. Other school record holders that happened this year, let's see if I can get them all. 100-meter hurdles, Allie Silver. 400-meter hurdles, Allie Silver. 400-meter run, Jules Hogan. Let me see. Oh, I haven't got field events yet. Long jump, Jules Hogan. Triple jump, Rachel Beechu. Discus, Soleil Kelly. Listen.
4x4.
Oh, the 4x4 team. The 4x4 team did so well at the state meet. They ran a 4:06. That's 4 girls averaging 61.5 seconds per 400. That broke the Marlboro school. Again, I'm an old Marlboro guy. Not any longer though. I might have the orange hat, but it says AMSA, so that if anyone's not clear. Our 4:06 would be a school record at Marlboro High that started in the 1970s. So just a great season. Jules Hogan. Allison Silver. Juliana Winkles. Megan Scott. Anna Latier. Shyla Burson. Soleil Kelly. Oceana Broom. Kate Scott. Yenica Jahan. Gretchen Schwartz. Grace Bleakney is competed today in the shot put down in North Carolina for junior high. There was 42 girls that were throwing, and Grace ended up getting 14th. Audrey Schwartz. Anusha Prashanthan. Lauren Williams. Veronica Kazenka. Reese Pleacher. Al Nelson. Sophia Martinez. Megan Latier. Solomon Mankari. Luana Gray Marr. Maddie Webster. Josie Cerveyas. Mia Pippin. And Marissa Vinko. The Most Improved Award goes to a runner who last year, the best time in the 2 mile was a 14:03, and this year she ran a 12:43. She also lowered her mile time from 6:30 to 6:12. The Most Improved runner this year goes to Yannicka Dahan. This individual has been with me since 6th grade. We're talking about the unsung hero here, and she also was voted by her teammates. She's not unsung because in my eyes, and I think that I speak for the entire coaching staff, she just has a positive attitude every time we ask her to do an event, and sometimes I ask her to do events that she's not too happy about. This year, she wasn't real happy about doing the 4x4 at States, and I had already told you how fast she ran and they ran. This year's unsung hero is Juliana Binkles. In a ballpark, I probably have coached close to somewhere between 5,000 to 7,000 people in my lifetime. I've been doing this a pretty long time. And our MVP is the best athlete I've ever coached. Michael Jordan got shoes and a shirt and a silhouette of him going from the free throw line to the basket. Well, that's 15 feet, anyone who plays basketball. Our MVP jumps 18 feet, 8 inches. So she would jump from the free throw line and get completely out of bounds. Well, Michael Jordan could only get to the basket. She also runs the 458.8 or 58.4, right? It was 58.8. At the New England meet, she is our first athlete at AMSA to make the New England meet, where she placed 8th in the long jump and 10th in the 400 meters, meaning she's in the top 10 in New England's in 2 different events. And she probably would have been in other events if she was allowed to do those. Our most valuable player is Jules Hogan. Sunday at Nationals down in North Carolina. Wish her well.
So girls, all in the back, so some of you guys
At this time, we're going to announce our academic award winners, beginning with the teams first. So if you're on one of these 2 teams, please stand for a moment of recognition. The boys team with the highest academic average, with an average of 90.88, is the varsity baseball team. With an average of 92.57, girls varsity lacrosse. And our individual academic awards, again, we give 2 awards for underclassmen and 2 awards for upperclassmen. And the 2019 Spring Academic Award winner for the female varsity student athlete underclassman with the highest average is from the varsity softball team, McKenna Olson. And for the 2019 Spring Academic Award winner for a male varsity student athlete underclassman with the highest average from the outdoor track and field team, Mr. Matt Young. All right, and for the upperclassmen, 2019 Spring Academic Award winner for a female varsity student athlete upperclassman with the highest average, also from the outdoor track and field team, and heading to nationals this weekend, Jules Hogan. All right, and the final academic award winner of the evening, 2019 Spring Academic Award winner for a male varsity student athlete, upperclassman with the highest average, also from the outdoor track and field team, also from the Hogan household, Mr. Jesse Hogan. Again, I always wrap up with this. It's an honor and a privilege to work with your children each and every day, our student athletes at AMSA. So very blessed to be here with them and you all. And we love our AMSA community. So thank you all for being here tonight. Best of luck to Jules at Nationals, and come support the girls tennis team Monday, 2 o'clock at St. John's in the state semifinals. Have a great summer, everybody.